Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers have more information about the seller and the business to help them make a buying decision further down the road. Today we'll be talking about an Amazon FBA business for sale, and I have the seller with me today, Artem. So welcome to the show, Artem, and how are you doing?
Oh, thank you, Vincent. I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you. And it's great to have you on the episode. I'm really looking forward to talking about your FBA business. Just before we get stuck into the interview, let me give a very brief summary of the business for our listeners today. So today's listing is an Amazon FBA business created in October 2017 in the beauty and personal care niches. The average monthly revenue for the business is $22,674, and it makes an average of $5,358 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are the Amazon Seller Central account with 24 SKUs, domains and all of their sites, contents and files, trademark, social media accounts including Facebook and Instagram. Just please note that inventory isn't normally included in the listing price and further details can be provided to active buyers. You can head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 51758 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock the listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing the asset. So, Artem, that's just a very general overview about the business, but let's just find out a bit more about yourself. Can you share with me what your background is in building or running online businesses?
I was in software business, so I built 3 companies and sold them previously based in Silicon Valley, and I've been through accelerations, 500 startups. I've been mentioned by Forbes 30 under 30. So I pretty much in software and this business, I started just to try e-commerce. But after 6 months, I started the business. I launched another one, which is in online education. So I decided that I'll keep it, grow it. So I was kind of questioning if I keep it or sell it. And now I finally decided it's time to sell it because I don't really have enough focus on that. So yeah, maybe I answered more than one question, but even better, I think.
Yeah, that's great. That definitely sounds like you've achieved a lot in your 30 years or however old you are. So it definitely sounds like you've been around the circuit quite a while. I suppose let's just talk about, with regard to Amazon FBA businesses, were there any communities or any resources or influencers or just anything like that that just really helped you learn, this monetization and help you get up to scratch?
No, actually not. I mean, I was having this strange idea of launching any physical business because I was curious and I always had the software business. So after a pretty long research, I decided to start in beauty. So I actually went to South Korea for to find the good product, and then I just order it. And when it comes to, I lived in Los Angeles that time. So when it arrived, I didn't even thought that I'm going to be selling on Amazon. So I thought I'm going to be selling in other marketplaces or through Instagram. And then I decided, okay, maybe I'll try Amazon. So it was like that. No kind of communities or people or something, just order and start to sell. And I mean, my idea was to build a good brand, a nice looking brand with quality of the product was the main thing. Maybe I watched some videos of Helium, then split leads, A/B testing, then I like payability a lot. Yeah, that's it.
It still sounds like, I guess maybe it sounds like you identified that Amazon FBA as a business model. Sounds like it's quite interesting from a consumer perspective. And that seems to be the spark that got you into it. I guess can you share with me a bit more then about how you came up with the idea to start this business in particular? Why these niches?
It actually was a lottery kind of stuff. So I had this idea again that I want to try something physical and I want to try e-commerce just to understand how it works. And we were going through many products, like whatever we were thinking about energetic drinks for gamers and all other, like, I think we have like 20, 30 niches tested and calculated and analyzed. And then just by figures, and we came up with this idea. We found a niche that we think we can build a good brand, and there are no other big brands in this niche. That's it. And then I just decided, okay, let's try it out, and we started.
Yeah, so it sounds like you say, it's a bit of a lottery. A bit of a gamble.
No big mission in this business or like any like personal stories. It was just out of curiosity, and we started. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense. Because you saying that you stumbled upon Amazon FBA when you encountered it yourself and you realized that it was a thing. Why would you recommend that FBA is a great business model for people to get started with if they were, wanted to get introduced with online businesses?
Well, I think it's pretty easy to start because you don't need to think about all the logistics and delivery and like the building the website. So there are so many things that Amazon is doing for you. And literally what you need is just build a good product and ship it to Amazon. And then if your calculations were fine and you understand what client wants, basically, then you're good. So it's pretty easy to work with. Compare, for instance, with Shopify, where you build your own website. So you don't know what UX is better for the clients, rather than Amazon knows this perfectly, right? So where to put the button, what to say on the listings, what kind of pictures to show, etc., etc. And then you need to drive the traffic on the website, which is either you know how to do it or not. And Amazon, you already have traffic on the website. You have a lot of organic traffic. And again, if there is a need for the product, and it's new and unique and good quality, then you're going to have organic sales. So I think it's a great channel. It's like to be in Walmart, but let's say like actually our business is we have a contract with Walmart. We never ship the products to them, but to having this contract with Walmart, it took us like 8 months compared with Amazon. I think after we start the registration in 1.5 months, something like that, we already have the first sale. So it's a complete different experience. It's faster, it's easier, and definitely I think it's a great idea to try it.
Yeah, no, that definitely sounds great. Definitely sounds like there's maybe a potential room for growth there, and we'll touch on that in just a moment. But, you've grown the business quite well over the past 3.5 years. So why are you thinking about selling the business right now instead of staying with it and growing it?
So as I said before, I started another company in online education, and I just feel it's my thing. It's more interesting for me. It's something that I want to do in my life. And this business is good, and actually it has potential to grow, but I just don't like to be unfocused. So that's why I sell it. And that's it. And I don't really spend a lot of time with this business. I don't know how, but it's actually when I create all the processes and when I was sure that the product is good, it works by itself, basically. I don't know how. And so I decided it's a good idea to sell it. And I hope that the buyer maybe save the brand and develop the brand, because there are many possibilities for growing. We are opening, like with Amazon, you already can work in different countries. We just didn't do this because I don't have time for that. And I don't have people. I don't want to hire them. I don't want to kind of spend time on developing this. And
For sure. No, I think that makes sense about, you've got another business that you have more interest in and you'd want to dedicate more time in. It seems like it's the right time to sell this business. And you touched on a lot of different points there, which definitely sounds like there's more room for growth, which we'll definitely explore in just a moment. I want to ask you about your experience while you were building this business. Is there anything that you learned that you'd apply to future sites or businesses?
I mean, many things, of course, as usually if you're growing something, you learn all the time. I mean, with Amazon, you actually learn, if you listen to Amazon and understand Amazon, it works well. Because in the beginning, I thought more of how I'm going to make money. But then after a year, I switched to the logic where I think how I can do, what I can do so Amazon will earn more money. And then it became much better because when I understand what types of businesses Amazon is putting on the first page, they're putting the businesses they kind of have more money from. So they're like, the product is more expensive, the packaging is smaller, so the delivery is cheaper. And when you understand this logic and you're kind of trying to earn while Amazon is earning more than your competitors, I think this strategy changed a lot in the company because it became much more easy to work. And it works everywhere, like in ads, in the listing itself, etc. I think it's great. So there are so many tools that you can use with Amazon. Like we use Payability because it's nice to, like, Amazon is paying twice per month. And with Payability, they're giving you like cash every 2 days. So it's very convenient, especially if you want to order new products. Then we use Helium for checking their ratings and all this stuff. So all these tools, if you like dive deeper in them, it really helps because I think it's nice to be kind of metric driven in any businesses. It's important to use these tools. And the third, I think it's actually great to be in touch with Amazon because I've been on 2 like offline, sounds strange in 2021, but 2 offline workshops made by Amazon for trademark owners. And they told a lot of useful information. Then you can kind of talk with people. So you have people inside the Amazon you can chat with, or if something is happening with your listing, you can always send them a message or email, whatever. So I think it's important to be in touch with some real kind of personality man inside the Amazon. And if you have all these 3, I think you will be safe. So that's what we learned. I think the most important stuff.
Definitely lots of great advice there. On the other hand, then, was there anything that you tried that didn't really give you the ROI that you were hoping for?
Yes, actually, a lot of things didn't work. We spent, I think, around $10,000 on the traffic for the website. But in our case, it was too early because we need to have more SKUs. And we understand after we compared kind of how website is performing compared to Amazon, that Amazon is much better because in Amazon, let's say 70% of our profit is from organic, and our SKUs are usually in the top 20 search places. So for doing that, you just need to kind of be smart. And if you want to do the same amount of profit or traffic on your own website, you need to spend a lot of money and be smart. So we decided we just stick to Amazon. We tried like different, like we tried Instagram, we tried Shopify again, but I think that you need to have at least product that will cost like around $50, or you need to have different products that can stick together because pricing for ads on Facebook are growing. So on like each lead, you need to spend at least $10. So it's better if your product is more expensive. Yeah, that's, I think, what didn't work. What else didn't work is, it was like once we tried to work with businesses, like with small beauty salons, like SMBs, but then it was complicated because it's difficult. They buy like 100 SKUs per year, but then you need to spend too much time talking to them. And we decided, okay, there's no sense. And we opened a B2B section on Amazon, and they were just buying from this section with the discount. So it's much easier again with Amazon. Yeah, there was like an offline event we did in Los Angeles, like with other beauty brands and celebrities, and we paid for this event to be there. But then again, it was more like a PR and didn't give us like almost anything in ROI. So I think if like our decision were to focus on Amazon only, and that's it.
Yeah, it's definitely valuable advice there. You were mentioning about advertising there and organic reach. What do you currently do in terms of marketing for the business right now?
Honestly, nothing specific. We don't do anything. So we just make sure that ratings are good and pictures are good. And we testing, we do splitly like A/B testing, and we always participating in Amazon programs like for deals and stuff. And that's it. And we just organically grow. And then we spend in like keywords that we know people are buying from. So nothing difficult here, just this, and that's it.
Gotcha. So it sounds like the majority of the traffic is organic.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, that sounds great. So I guess, let me ask you, on a day-to-day basis, or even a weekly basis, can you describe the type of work that you do to maintain the business right now?
So right now I do nothing almost. I spend an hour just checking, because I have a manager who is managing the account. And basically once per week, he's giving me the analytics, and we just go through the analytics, and usually everything is fine. And the only decision is like, okay, we're going to buy the next products when we are going to order it. And that's it. I mean, sometimes we think, okay, maybe we need to add a video, or maybe we need to buy an influencers so they post a video with Amazon links and something like that, but nothing more.
For sure. It says on your listing that 2 freelancers help with the operations. Will they be continuing with the sale with the buyer after the sale?
It's actually 1 freelancer. I don't know why it's 2. It's 1 person, the manager, and he's not a freelancer. He's working full time on that. I mean, he's working like he has a half day, but full time. It's his full time job basically. So he's not like managing like 10 of accounts or something like that. And yes, he's willing to continue to work. But again, if you know how Amazon works, it's not a problem for you to run this business, because honestly, you just need to do simple kind of tasks, and that's it.
Great to hear. Let's talk about the opportunities then. I mean, if you did stay with the business, what are some of the ways that you might try growing it?
So for sure, 2 main things. First is going to Amazon Europe, like UK, Europe, then Dubai, Canada. So we got all like documents and licenses there, and basically we are ready to ship. We just don't do it because it's going to be more time that I need to spend, and I don't want to spend it. So this is for sure the first step basically to go, and it's ready to do. You just need to order and buy products and ship it, because I mean, you can't ship it from like Amazon US to there. It's from the ROI point of view, it's much better if you ship directly from South Korea to UK, let's say, and then from UK to the rest of the Europe, than you ship from the US, because it's going to be more expensive. So the first step, new markets basically, and it's easy. And the second step is new SKU, because you already have the brand. It's over 50,000 people who use the brand and who knows the brands. And I think if you just grow the number of SKUs and products, you can grow the ROI with the brand.
I forgot to ask you actually, Artem, can you briefly describe how inventory is stored from the logistics of it, from the manufacturer to the warehouses or even the fulfillment centers?
Sure. So it's pretty easy, actually. So we do ship them from South Korea. If it's a new product, we usually ship like 1 pallet by air and the rest by sea. So when it's by air, it's shipped faster. And we start to basically sell it, to grow the reviews and to have the account started. So by the time the sea pallets are in the US, we already have the account which is ready to sell and ready for ads. Because there is no sense to start ads if you have less than, let's say, 20 reviews or something like that. So basically, there is a fulfillment center in LA, and we ship all there. We have only 5 products. And basically, we combine them in different SKUs directly in this fulfillment center and ship it once per month, once per 2 months to the Amazon. So that's it.
Cool. Great. Thanks for sharing. That makes sense.
And actually, so the good point that the guys from this fulfillment center, they have their logistic company as well, and they're already in touch with our manufacturers in Korea. So the system basically works like that. You pay the bill. You tell them, okay, guys, ship, and they ship, so you don't do anything.
Oh, okay, great. So it sounds like, there's a system pretty much firmly in place now.
Yeah, it's working pretty good. It's actually, I mean, we use another logistic partner, like in the beginning for 2 years, but then we tried these guys, and it was much cheaper, like twice cheaper, I think, and it was faster. It was during the COVID, so I was like, how is even possible? But then, just like that. So it's nice. Yeah, I mean, the structure here is pretty smooth. It's okay.
Awesome. For the buyers who are interested in acquiring this asset, what would you say are some of the biggest risks with this business that someone should know?
So I think the biggest risk always on Amazon that someone can hack the account, but it's not for our business in general. But for the last year, I think Amazon did a lot for kind of secure that no one is going to hack the account. So it's good. And also if you have a trademark and you are not a newcomer to Amazon, you have a good support, so you can solve it pretty fast. Another risk is that like a big brand will go to this niche. However, our strategy were to concentrate on a pretty small niches for big brands and be the top seller in those niches. So even if the big brand will come to the place, you can still be on the second or third or fourth place, and it's enough revenue. So we kind of secured, so we have FBA certificates for the products. We even had insurance. So if someone will eat the product, then it will be covered. But then we decided there's no sense because people are not that stupid. So no one doing that. So we stopped that. But you can do this if you're, nervous or something. I don't think Amazon will start their brands in beauty, but I don't know. If it will happen, you either be with them again, because, they can't just be them by themselves, right? Or maybe they'll buy it in the future. But no, I don't think there are a lot of risks. If it would be, it should be happened during these 3 years and nothing of that happened. So I don't think that the possibility of something that damaged the business.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. Last few questions from me then, Artem. How much support are you offering buyers?
It depends. So my perfect case, if it will be someone, the company or the physical person who knows how to sell on Amazon, or he has, let's say, a beauty brand already, or he has another brand and he just want to grow his business and he has a team who is managing, because it's pretty similar. You can now buy 2, 3, 4 brands and one guy can manage all of them. So I don't really need to explain him what is the difference between Amazon FBA and Amazon FBM and vendor and all this stuff, because I can, but I think we have enough people interested in the business. So I'll definitely choose the one who I spend the smallest amount of my time. But depends, right? So of course, if they want some support, I'm happy to give it, but I just don't want to be to explain everything from scratch, what is e-commerce, what is Amazon FBA, what is business, what is taxes, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it should be someone who is at least in business, better if in e-commerce business, and much better if in Amazon FBA business.
Great to hear. Are you willing to commit to a non-compete?
Of course. As I said, my second business is in online education. So I'm fully there right now and I'm going to continue to grow it. So I have no interest in e-commerce, or in beauty for sure. So even if I start e-com business, it's going to be some merchandise for my online business, not more. And it's not going to be cosmetic. So the answer is yes.
Great. And are you open to negotiating something like an earn-out, like seller financing?
Well, yes, but again, as I said, I will be choosing the one who is basically, who knows Amazon business and who will be faster and who will pay more in cash, which is obvious, of course. But it depends on what we have. And if there is going to be the small amounts of money, maybe 10, 20% that they want to pay later, I'm okay with that. But again, it's not the sum that you need to spend on this business is pretty small. So I don't think people will need to use this opportunity. And again, if you know what Amazon FBA business is, it's pretty easy to understand all the figures and understand all the risks. So there is nothing actually can happen, right? Because you see all the figures. It's not an offline business, or it's not even like a software business, because you can see all the numbers on Amazon and there is nothing to hide really. So usually there is no sense for this kind of things. But again, I'm happy to discuss if they will be logical, not just because they want it.
Awesome. Last question from me then. If you put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why would you say that this is a business that's worth buying?
For me, let's imagine I don't have the second business, right, which I love. Here is a lot of opportunity to grow it internationally, as I said, which is interesting, when I have friends around Europe and they were asking me all the time, can you please send me your product? And I was like, guys, you need to order on Amazon, but we're not yet in the UK. So I think it's nice when you can sell international, both from your own perspective and from the ROI perspective. Then, as I said, is to grow the quantity of products, which will bring you one day to the big brand. And third, I think it's a great possibility to grow with social networks, like new social networks like TikTok. So if you can find an influencer, or you are an influencer, or whatever, I think it's a big opportunity to do this, and it's interesting. So I would be buying these because I see, okay, there's a brand. They did all the hard work, basically. So they launched the brand, they have revenue, they have profit, they have good reviews, they found the manufacturers. So they did everything. It's a great platform to come and build a brand bigger than it is right now.
That's great stuff. Is there anything you'd like to share that you think I might have missed?
No, I think I said everything that's needed. Anyway, if potential buyers will have more questions, we can face them. So
that's great. Well, Artem, it's been a pleasure having you on today's episode, and I hope that your business gets picked up by the right buyer in the very near future.
Same on my side. Yeah, thank you, Vincent.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 51758. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about the business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.